Hey, this is Yuri Lowenthal. I play Peter Parker in Spider-Man and PS4 Spider-Man. And when I'm not swinging around the city, saving it from crime, I'm listening to the Raw Dogs podcast. They talk about video games and beer, two things that I like very much. So, check them out.
I just heard like some screaming sound.
Oh, that was Martin.
That was Martin.
He made a screaming sound?
He meowed really loud.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to Raw Dogs. Today,
Raw Dogs are here.
The Raw Dogs are here, everyone. We're part of the Togi Beat Podcast Network. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Write a review, give us 5 stars, and tell your friends. Tell them Brad sent you.
They'll know what that means.
They'll know what the heck that means. Hi, I'm Brad, and I'm excited to be talking about Street Fighter again because that last conversation was just not enough for me.
I'm Dylan. I'm here, and my brain. Is,
I'm here,
and my brain is mush because of Legend of Zelda.
Yes,
it's just pure mush. My brain cannot think of anything else. It is weird.
And I'm Tyler. I'm sleep deprived, and I want to go to bed.
What did you do?
I just stayed up too late.
What were you doing?
My friends went to the Brewer game, and then after the Brewer game, they wanted to go to the bar, and I wanted to hang out with my friends, but I didn't want to drink, so I went, and I didn't have very much to drink, but I hung out for a while, much later than I should have, and then went home, and I can't just fall asleep when I get home after work. I need like an hour of decompression.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta like watch some YouTube or play some video games and like relax.
Eat something maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand how that feels.
I drank some water like a good boy.
Yeah, I drink like half a gallon. If I've even been drinking a little.
My stupid brother, when he moved out, he forgot his 42-ounce Venture mug. So don't tell him, but I got a pretty nice mug now.
Oh, great.
I would never talk to your brother about anything.
Good.
Street Fighter. As much as we want to desperately talk about Tears of the Kingdom all day today,
Yes.
we're not able to. We left our last discussion. We had just talked about the Street Fighter Alpha games. We talked about Street Fighter EX. Well, we talked about the first 2 Street Fighter Alpha games, which I know it's the same story-ish. I hate this already.
Yeah, I'm numb.
We do need to do a big update from the last episode because a lot of new information has come to light. We have seen the picture of Tyler as the Hamburglar.
Yes.
Yes, we have seen the picture of Tyler as the Hamburglar.
It's like a knockoff Hamburglar.
I have it saved to my phone. I think about it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm picturing you underneath there.
Oh, yeah. It was me. I was much thinner, and I had a lot of acne.
Yeah.
Just a whole bunch. You know why? Because I ate a shit ton of McDonald's back then.
Turns out.
You were just shoving burgers in your
Turns out that's not good for your skin.
burgers in your blouse.
Yeah. Neither is puberty, but hey, what are you going to do?
You're going to dress up as the fucking Hamburglar and go out there and do your job, Tyler.
Dude, that helmet stunk so bad.
After a while, though, you learn to like it.
No.
And now it's your specific fetish.
Smells like Theo and booze.
Chasing that dragon.
Whoever was in this suit last drank way too much.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to drink some more beers from Eagle Park's Joint Fest. This is the last round today that we have. We're drinking a bunch of hazies. This is a hazy IPA, collaboration with Phase 3 with Autumn hops, Centennial, Cryo, and Simcoe. Got a couple flamingos on the front.
One of these days, man, I'm going to remember which hops I like.
I like Nelson hops. Just because I've been to Nelson.
I think Citra. I think I like Citra.
Did you know flamingos are incredibly gross animals?
No.
They pee all over their legs to keep cool.
That's not that gross.
I do that.
Guys, I didn't know that about you two.
Yeah. But
Honestly, that's a really good adaptation.
Okay. Did you know that they're only pink because of the food they eat? Otherwise, they wouldn't be pink?
I did know that.
Okay. I'm surprised that you guys are cool with them peeing all over themselves.
Yeah, animals do way worse than that.
I guess humans do too. Well, Street Fighter, gentlemen. 1997, Street Fighter 3 finally comes out. So if you remember Street Fighter 2, they had 8 versions of that game.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, we are going to make 3 different games now. Street Fighter Alpha, they had to get through some of their old arcade cabinets. So Street Fighter Alpha was a prequel series, takes place after Street Fighter 1 and before 2. Wasn't beloved. Some people like it, but it wasn't as big of a deal as 2 by any means. Street Fighter EX, the first 3D Street Fighter made by another company and not canon, but 1997, Street Fighter 3, the new generation comes out. It was only in arcades for quite a while. Eventually did land on the Dreamcast on February 28th. Producer, director...
That's where I first played it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful game.
It's gorgeous. The pixel art alone.
The sprite work is insane in that game.
Mm-hmm. Huge jump from 2.
Yeah, it's big time noticeable. Just like all the frames of animation for every move, for every character. I was taken aback at how pretty the game was when I played it.
I still think it's the best looking Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Hands down. I think, 4 kind of, they had to make it 3D because it was like 2006, 2007?
Yeah.
They had to. And then 5 is just, I don't know, cel-shaded cartoon.
Which is fine. I think it looks good because they did need to make that jump to 3D. But as far as like the animation, like that hand-drawn, I love it so much. Yeah. Producer Tomoshi Sadamoto began talking about new generations back in 1994. But most of the staff was focused on Darkstalkers.
Yes.
The name was changed to Street Fighter once Akira Yasuda joined the team. They were making a lot of other fighting games which weren't as successful, and they needed an easy win. They were working on something else like just make it a fucking Street Fighter game and put it out there. I put down extremely lush animation. Every character has between 700 and 1,200 animation frames.
Wow.
Damn. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Considering a lot of it is just them kind of bobbing back and forth.
Yeah, just like Hugo, the Andre the Giant guy, just the way like his hair moves, like
Majestic.
And Elena, the African, I think so.
Yeah, she fucking rules.
And the way she does her capoeira, I could look at this game all day. The game totally bombed in arcades. Gameplay editions.
Why was that?
There were other games that were bigger at the time. The transition to 3D was happening, and games like Tekken, which were easy to pick up, and they looked so 3D, and like, why would I play that garbage Nintendo game like for kids?
Yeah, I can shoot aliens in Area 51.
Yeah, it's so realistic, dude. Those women,
dude,
they look pretty hot.
Yeah. I just shot everyone.
No, don't shoot those, Dylan. No, I know what I'm doing.
Leave me alone.
Listen, I'm a secret CIA operative. Everyone has to die.
The dumbest thing. All right.
Face.
Those people in those games, imagine you're like hiding from aliens and these guys show up with guns and the thing you do is you jump up right in front of them while they're shooting.
Rawr.
Don't shoot me. It's like, maybe just stay down.
Yeah. House of the Dead also around this time, I think.
I like that one.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I
We don't
believe
know.
you.
I
always assume you're right.
Well, I sometimes am. Sometimes.
The thing is, though, there was a lot of other fighting games in the market. Street Fighter 3 decided to stay back in the 2D realm, which was not a good selling point for people. And I think a big problem,
1996. Wow. Yeah.
the original game only featured Ryu and Ken. People want to see their Dhalsims, their Zangiefs, their E-Hondas, and they don't know who the fuck Alex is. Yeah, Alex. If you know what character I'm talking about, Dylan,
Blonde guy?
the long blonde wrestler guy. He was going to be like the new poster boy. That was going to be like the cool American that everyone loved, and no one liked Alex.
Nobody liked him.
Even now, they don't know what to do with him. Like, well, we said he was special, so he's got to be in the games, but
Who's the black kid that's really popular to play as? I forget his name.
not sure. Maybe the Brazilian Sean Matsuda.
I think, yeah. People love him.
Yeah, despite him being in the lore one of the weakest people in the universe. I love that. He likes basketball though, so he's got that going for
Sure
him.
does like basketball.
I love it when I get in the lore and they're like, "We don't have a lot for this character. We know he likes his grandma." I'm like, "This is some good shit."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, this is enough for me to write a fucking outline on, guys.
You know what? I like my grandma too.
You have a lot in common
We got
with
something
that
in
one.
common.
When we get to that one of 100 characters we're talking about in the lore episode,
Have you all called your mothers?
I'm gonna go hang out with her after this.
Oh, yeah.
in the words of basketball, my mother's dead, you little twerp.
Well, my mom's alive.
guess-
Last one living.
I guess that's why she didn't move around a lot.
Well, I mean, you could call your grandma.
Yeah, we're gonna call my grandma's today and go out and see Carly's mom and grandma.
Perfect.
And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I was thinking a dogcast for next year. Fun episode could be the best moms in video games.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd
that
be a
would've been
pretty good one.
You should have said that Happy Mother's Day in your Mark Wahlberg accent. All right.
Say hi to your mother for me, right? Happy Mother's Day. Give her a kiss. I would.
Go up to your mom and say, "Hey, mom, good job pushing me out."
I was a 10-pound, 4-ounce baby. I
What
was
if
a monster when I
Yeah,
came
what
out.
if I was a C-section baby?
Yeah, I was cut out too.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Because I wasn't gonna come out head first. No, I was dipping my toes out like.
You're like, nope.
I'm like, no.
I think the baby's trying to crawl back in.
So they had to rip me out of there.
Then two people holding one leg each.
Like,
and
no,
yanking.
no.
And you came out and you're like, I'm going to be older than Jesus someday.
I actually was. I was a whole month early, so I'm a preemie.
Wow.
I'm a preemie, and I did a little head thing where I tilted my head and put my hands up to it.
And we shall call him Dylan.
But when I came out, I had super long fingernails, a full head of hair, but my lungs were underdeveloped.
They slapped your butt and you slapped him back.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know if my mom smoked. I asked her once, and of course she would lie about it. So I don't know.
Well, the gameplay.
Love you, Mom.
For Street Fighter 3, they added dashing and retreating, leap attacks, which is a small jump attack that you can use against crouching opponents. There is no blocking in the air. That's been removed since alpha. But parries have been added. This game is parry the game. You can see people parry 100 attacks in a row if they're like that good.
Yeah, that's a good mechanic for one of these games.
It's a cool addition
Yeah.
for a fighting game.
With a fighting game, you should have a good source of defense. Like it just makes sense that you should have a parry attack, like ability.
Either the blocking, it has like an added benefit to it.
Yeah,
Like it always should. If it's like building up a meter or something like that, you should get rewarded in some way, and not just building or not just keeping all the 100% damage from coming in on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A give and take. With the parry, you can evade an incoming attack without receiving damage, and the moment attack would hit the player, you can move the lever forward or down to step aside to get out of the way. Super arts are in here. When selecting a character, you can choose one of 3 specific super arts in battle. So pretty exciting. Like I mentioned, only 2 returning characters. Not a good selling point for the game. Alex was the new poster boy. The wrestler orphan American, created to entice American players when everyone wanted to play as the African Princess Elena or the British boxer Dudley.
Dudley's awesome.
Dudley's very cool.
Yeah, Dudley's cool.
They're like, Balrog is putting a bad name for black boxers out there. And Dudley's like, I'm a gentleman.
Yeah,
And he entered the tournament because Gil took his car. And
How dare that motherfucker?
his whole motivation is, give me my car back,
I thought
sir.
he was like a butler or something.
This is an 81 Honda. How dare you?
This was a good car.
This is my 1978 Subaru.
I'm not sure what car he had. We'll have to look into that for the lore episode.
Yeah, it was probably like a Model T.
I think it might have been his dad's car, but he was mad. The new
Is a Buick.
the new bad guy, Gil.
See, with a name like that, though, it doesn't strike fear in my heart.
Not like M. Bison
I have
M.
an-
Bison, a fascist Hitler dictator monster.
with psychic powers.
Yep, what's it called? The Psycho Force, or
I don't remember.
it might just be Psycho Power. I don't know. Well, that's lore.
Yeah.
Gil's not scary, though.
Do you know what Gil looks like?
Nope.
Look up Street Fighter Gil.
GIL?
Gill.
GILL, maybe. Might be just one L.
I've only heard one person refer to him as Jill, which somehow makes the character even lamer.
All right.
It's like the Final Fantasy currency.
I mean, that guy looks scary.
Half red, half blue, with
Yeah.
a whole bunch of like blonde hair. I don't like the design too much.
No, it's a terrible design.
the
But
design is awful.
that's like, if I saw him in person, I'd be like, you should go to a doctor. That ain't right.
I'd walk the opposite direction.
Well, I mean, not to tease the lore episode, but he is part of the Illuminati. He was the destined chosen one that's going to lead them into the next stage. And he wasn't born red and blue. This was something done to him.
He's got pyrokinesis and cryokinesis.
I know, right?
It's like his 2 sides, dude.
Sounds like
He
Zelda.
looks like if you told me like, hey, we got this fighter, he can control ice and fire. What are you going to design? And I'd be like, I'm just going to make him half blue, half red. That sounds like me in like 3rd grade. I would design that character.
There's a character from My Hero Academia, that popular anime and manga, whose power is literally half fire, half ice. So I think someone's been cheating.
So he's like icy hot.
By the way, have you seen like the
That's a
teasers?
better name. Icy Hot would be a better name
or
for Gil.
Bengay.
Have you seen the teasers for Pixar's Elemental?
No.
Oh, my
maybe.
God, looks so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been interested in Pixar in a while.
Did they make the Inside Out movie with the emotions?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good movie.
it was okay.
It was good, but now they're just doing that with weather.
What else
temperature.
can we make into a human-like thing? I don't know.
It's about how being different is cool.
This one's about shopping bags. Our hero is a paper bag in a plastic world.
You ever feel like a paper bag?
I
Or a
can't be
plastic
out
bag
in
in the wind?
water.
His mom blows away in the wind.
Honest to God, that's a premise right there.
Yeah.
Don't cross the picket line though.
And then-
you can't write that.
And
right now.
reusable bags think they're so much better than all the other bags.
Yeah.
Call us Pixar.
I'm from Aldi's.
I'm from Aldi.
Well, Street Fighter 3 Second Impact comes next. There's not as many iterations of Street Fighter 3, but we have a couple. This came out September 30th, 1997. This added EX specials. So you can power up certain special moves with your gauge. Like, I want my Hadouken to be stronger, so you can choose to power that up in the battle. And you have a personal action, character-specific taunt that confers benefits if completed. So it'd be like doing the Degeneration X sign, and you get like a plus gauge or something.
That's how that worked in the Attitude Era.
That's how it works in real life. If I tell someone to suck it, I'm immediately buffed. Like,
Do you
I'm
crotch chop though?
I do. I like the crossing of the arms more than the just like hitting the dick.
Just hitting the dick seems so much more aggressive.
But to me, it's Degeneration X. It's not
Yeah.
about the V. To me, it's like the X.
Yeah, that
I just push my hips forward and go wing 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 wing. Like I do a little like suck it.
see
I give it a little tickle.
Each character has a specific final opponent in single player mode. Akuma was added as a playable character because that's the easy way to get somebody to put an extra quarter in. Like, I can play as Akuma again. I guess I'll check that out. Mm-hmm. And the story of the first game of Street Fighter 3 is retconned in this one because they're like, oh, that story needs a little tweaking. I don't know why. Maybe they're like, Gil needed a cooler story. They added 2 new characters, Hugo Andore, pro wrestler who wants to find a tag team partner. I get it.
That's a Pixar movie right there.
That's a Pixar film right there.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Professional wrestling Pixar film could be cool.
That would
They
be
don't get
cool.
along at first.
It's Darren Aronofsky's the wrestler, but done in a cutesy style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as long as I still get to see Marissa Tomei naked.
That's how you feel about anything, right?
About Marissa Tomei specifically, yeah.
Yeah, just like any piece of media is like, well, is Marissa Tomei naked? Then yes.
Or Brendan Fraser specifically from The Whale.
Naked?
Sure.
So you were super disappointed with the new Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Or was it the Andrew Garfield ones? Or these ones?
Either
Never
way,
remember.
Brendan Fraser was not naked in any of those movies.
No, that would have been nice.
That would have been nice.
Would have been kind of cool. Just saying, just put it out there.
Yeah.
And they added the new character of Urien, who is Gil's younger brother, who doesn't like Gil because they chose him to be the chosen one instead of him. He has a classic little brother complex.
Wow.
And fun fact about Urien, he's just almost always naked except like a thong. Dude just doesn't wear clothes. And that's a plus.
Freedom.
I mean, it just makes him more aerodynamic when he fights.
Yeah. And you can't like grab someone's shirt or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Grab his wang.
Yeah.
And then the fight's over. The love begins.
Yeah.
Well, if
Those
you,
2 steps, always in order.
if you thought Street Fighter 3 second game wasn't enough, Street Fighter 3 third game comes out.
See, this
I am
is
gonna go
What
insane.
I love about Street Fighter is they're like, you know what? Fuck the numbers system. Fuck 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna make 3 times. We're gonna make 2 9 times. However many times.
They're just inventing the concept of season passes.
Yeah.
That's really what's happening here. This is just DLC before DLC.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about it, you're right.
100%. We have 5 new characters. We're adding a fucking first-person shooter mode.
And at this point, they're on home consoles. Are they pivoting away from the arcade cabinets by this point?
Yeah.
No, I mean, they're both.
Well, arcades in America are starting to die around the early 2000s.
Yeah, because I don't remember many of them when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, arcades weren't as popular. Electric Rainbow, there was a few we would go to, Aladdin's Castle, but there wasn't any in our hometown.
But that's in like Saudi Arabia. How did you get there?
You have to rub a lamp.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Well, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike comes out May 12th, 1999. They add the guard parry, where you can parry during a guard stun if the timing is correct. So while you're stunned and you have the stars floating around you, you can still do a parry. They added Chun-Li.
Okay.
Exciting. Yeah. And then 4 other new characters.
You've said Chun-Li now a couple times in this podcast, and in my brain every time it's Chun-Li from Pawn Stars.
Dressed up as Chun-Li from Street Fighter.
Well, I've seen the posters in your room, so
Of
I think you
Chun-Li
have a
or Chun-Li?
Chun-Li.
The Chun-Li sports calendar.
Yeah, it's just his personal hero. It's your vision board.
I really look up to the guy. I think he's a felon now.
Yeah, he's definitely a felon.
I like there's just like one season all of a sudden where he lost a bunch of weight and got a haircut. I'm like, wow,
Drugs.
what's going on here, Chum-Li? And then he went to prison.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You give somebody a bunch of money and then they come back the next season. It's like, you don't look so drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's off the show.
Yeah.
Is that show still going?
I don't know.
Who knows? I think for the
If it's
final,
not, they're having a spin-off.
Maybe we should all ask our nanas.
for the final episode. Yeah. Hey, Grandma, what's going on True TV right now?
Good to see everyone. Does anyone know if American Pop Stars is still on there?
For the last episode of that show, it should be them trying to pawn their pawn shop to another bigger pawn fish.
Pond fish.
There's always a bigger fish.
There's always
guess
a bigger
so.
fish. Yeah. It is. We're going to see more of these shows too right now with the writer's strike. Reality TV is the easy thing for them to punch, to just pump
Do you
out.
guys think we could get one?
If they're desperate enough. I mean,
It
maybe
would be interesting.
Amazon Prime, maybe. There's that new show about the 2 black lady podcasters, and they're like, we're podcasters. I'm like, me and Dylan have been living that life for
We
like
are
4 years.
podcasters. But they'd have to give us things to do, because if they're just going to sit and watch me in my underwear play Legend of Zelda, That's one thing.
They're
I can do that on Twitch.
Well, they have to make artificial drama. So Jordan will walk in like, "Will you put some pants on?" And then there's like, boom, and then it cuts to you
farting,
looking at the camera, like, "She's always on me about my pants."
She says no pants, and I just want to wear underwear.
She says I have to be naked.
And the dog leash, forget about it.
And then
Not
meanwhile,
my style, you know.
Meanwhile, Tyler, and there's just him getting punched in the nuts as a Hamburglar.
Yeah. And then
I mean, the season finale would be us. Like, we got you surprised, and we get you the Hamburglar costume from high school.
And I storm out. I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I'm not putting it back on.
And then it's like, are they over? Find out in season 2 when they're not over.
Our ratings dip, and it's like a cut to, and it's me being tied up and being tortured by Nazis.
Wow, they really went a different direction that season.
We live a crazy life. What can I say?
Well, so that was the Street Fighter 3 series.
Dude, I will say this. These games we are not fanatics of it. It's not hard to talk about and have fun, but it just makes my brain turn into complete jelly. Just moldy gelatin. Doesn't even wiggle no more. It's just slop.
Too
much water.
the multiple iterations where they add slight deviations. That's when I'm really like, oh man, this is just. I'm like making a 10-page outline, just angry.
Should be.
Yeah, and
it's not good.
And I estimated down for that because each one of these outlines was like 25 pages. I know, but I'm like, we need to know about Urian and why. The lore episode will be fun.
The lore episode is the one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot right now, if only because all of these little iterations have been completely confusing to me my entire life.
Well, Street Fighter 3 is canonically the last game that's out right now.
Yeah.
It takes place after 4 and 5, but Street Fighter 6 takes place after 3 for the first time. So we can see the fallout of whether or not Urian found his pants.
What?
On next season of Street Fighter.
I think I'll be getting Street Fighter 6 day one.
I don't think you will.
I think I will. Why? Why do you say that?
You're just not a Street Fighter guy.
I'm Darkstalkers.
You're curious about. Well, we'll talk about sex in a little bit.
If it's fun, I don't care what.
That open world was giving me Dragon Ball Kakarot vibes, and you ridiculed me many, many times for playing Kakarot.
Well, the combat in Kakarot isn't good.
They made a Dragon
None
Ball
of it's actually
Kakarot
good.
Game. Isn't Kakarot just Goku's name?
Yeah, that's his Saiyan name.
Yeah, they made a game and they just called it his name.
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
It's the story of Dragon Ball all the way through Dragon Ball Super, pretty much.
That's cool.
It is all. It's last night we went to go see Star Wars: The Force Awakens with an orchestra. Mm-hmm. My lovely wife bought tickets to that. The movie was better than I remember, but also every time a character walked in, like Han Solo comes around a corner, everyone's like, "Fuck yeah!" I was like, this is not a cheering.
No, this is not a cheering place. Also, you saw this movie 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Like Chewbacca walks into oh, I love Chewbacca.
It's like, it's my big hairy man. He's back again.
And when they blew up the Starkiller base, everyone cheered, and I was like, this is cringy, guys.
Have these people never seen this movie?
I don't know.
I think they were whipped up because a live orchestra really does add a certain energy to it.
It was great. The music was great, but it was every time some character did something, people cheered, and I'm like, it's weird.
That is
me.
cringy.
It is just it's just nostalgia bait to a level I'm not.
I don't. Well, here's my thing. I don't really like yucking the yum in these type of situations,
Sure.
but I can't lie and say that I know the excitement of a game of football. I just don't. I don't have that in me.
Yeah.
Unless I'm actively taking part in something.
So if you
I'm
played,
probably not.
If you played for the Packers, you'd be more interested.
Oh, I'd be way more
We
interested.
do need a wide receiver, real
Do you think
bad.
I could? Do you think I could do it?
Dude, you could do it.
They drafted I'm
gonna try
a
out.
man named Dylan Hoff. He has no experience at all with sports. He can't even podcast without knocking things over.
You know, boys.
Brad, his coordination leaves a lot to be desired, but I've seen the man play Zelda.
Look at him out there. He is
real
throwing up on the field.
Boys, I'm still not sure about the rules, but you know what? We'll wing it.
Does he have a Game & Watch out there he's playing?
I'm just like,
We thought he was looking up defensive strategies on the Microsoft Surface tablets, but turns out he snuck a switch in.
He's playing Vampire Survivors. I don't know what's going on down there. It looks like a great game. Back to you. Street Fighter EX2 comes out next. They made a sequel to the first EX game.
what?
1998, released May 26th, the PlayStation version a year later. Big changes this time, almost a new game. They added Excel combos, which you begin with a basic move, follow up with a different basic move, with a special move to a different special move.
So basic, special?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll take it.
I believe that's what it means. It's like in Guilty Gear.
They brought Vega and Blanca back. They added new characters, Sharon and Hayate. Sharon? An agent for secret intelligence group living a double life as a nun.
I thought you said Cher.
That sounds like a...
Sharon, like the
not like
person who escorts you across the river Styx.
not
Chiron.
Like, do you
Chiron?
believe in life after love?
I got that guy right there in my arm.
Is that him?
That's Sharon, yeah.
I thought it was all Game of Thrones on that side.
No, just the werewood tree.
Yeah.
And I guess I got the three-eyed raven, the two-eyed, one-eyed raven. Three-eyed raven.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah, there's some hidden characters in this game, too. What? I played this game for 10 years and there's hidden characters?
Huh?
Including Shadowgeist, a merciless cyber-enhanced vigilante seeking to bring down his country's totalitarian government.
I like this.
That's something I can
Why
get
isn't there
behind.
just a game about him?
Don't worry, we're going to talk about them. EX2 Plus comes out. They made another version of EX2. They added meteor combos. Not meteor like there's more meat, like meteor like
Isn't it air combos?
more powerful super combos.
Oh.
They removed Hayate. They actually removed a character. People don't know why. She was removed for unknown reasons. They added Bison and some other characters.
I'm going to
Cancel
look up a
culture
picture of
these days.
Hayate.
They added the new character, Volcano Rosso. He's an Italian fighter seeking revenge for his lover's murder.
See, noble cause.
That sounds like a fucking show, like Days of Our Lives or something.
Oh, yeah. That's a TV novella right there.
Hayate looks like a boy. Isn't Hayate a boy?
Hayate is a noble samurai searching for his missing father.
Yes.
Maybe he found him in the off-season. He's like, I don't got to fight no more.
It's the
He
same
is
game.
extremely boring looking.
There are some very boring designs.
He's just a dude
I think
in a kimono.
EX3 has my least favorite character design of all.
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
Up next, though, we have Street Fighter Alpha 3. There are still alpha games coming out as well here, folks. 1998, released June 29th in Japan and the US, and would come to PlayStation, Dreamcast, and the Sega Saturn later that year. This discards auto and manual modes, and they add 3 fighting styles known as isms. A-ism, based on previous alpha games, with a 3-level super combo gauge with access to super combos. Stay with me, Dylan.
Yeah, I am. I'm just rubbing my eyes.
X-ism, simple style based on Street Fighter 2 Turbo. with
And atheism.
and atheism, where you renounce religion. And you disappoint your parents, but you feel like a more well-rounded
You feel
human
liberated.
being. Yeah. Vism, which is another term for atheism. Variable style that allows custom combos, but none of those super combos, and no Jesus, it says. They add guard power gauges, depletes each time the player blocks. If depleted, you are left vulnerable to an attack. And M. Bison makes a glorious return, the true final boss, with a special Shadowluism meter. Ooh. And Dreamcast did add I-ism. I know you were curious. with the Dreamcast
I am.
added.
Yeah. What is I-ism?
It's a customizable style, you idiot.
Because
Stop being a loser.
because I make it.
Can you try and keep up?
Dude, I'm trying, man.
Etch it into your brain. There's a test.
They added some characters that did become mainstays for Street Fighter into the next 4 and 5. Karen, she's actually like she's not like British, like she has one with that curly wig looking hair. She is Ken's apprentice. Armika, Rainbow Mika.
Awesome. Mika's cool.
She's known for her crazy hair, her crazy outfit, and her giant breasts.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
And she loves Zangief. And Zangief doesn't like young women. He's like, "You are a distraction from my wrestling." And he has a picture of Vega up next to his mirror. I have questions on Zangief. I think he should express who he is.
You can't, not in Russia.
True. Even if he's pals with Gorbachev.
Yeah.
Gorbachev.
Gorbachev.
I just call him
Mickey.
Gorbachev?
Mr. Mole.
Mr. Mole. Cody from Final Fight. Julie and Junie. I'm so sick of Shadaloo dolls, and we'll talk about them on the lore episode. The PlayStation version added DJ, Fei Long, T-Hawk, as well as Guile, Evil Ryu, and Shin Akuma. The Sega Saturn version added Final M. Bison, which was playable via a code.
I don't think it's going to be the final version.
No, they're actually there's a very weird version of Bison that shows up near the end.
Oh, okay.
That I think is the final one. There's a Game Boy Advance version which added Eagle.
This must have been bad.
The Game Boy Advance version?
Yeah.
Probably pretty bad.
It
I'd be curious to
probably
try it,
been
but I
bad.
can't imagine it was good.
Two buttons and shoulder buttons. That's what you have.
Yeah, that would be rough.
And no, analog sticks. The D-pad is okay for some things, but that Game Boy Advance D-pad, I would not want to play a fighting game on it.
It's too small.
It's too small, too smushy.
Too smushy.
And the PSP version added Ingrid from Capcom Fighting Evolution, a mysterious celestial entity who seeks Shadaloo because she is the original user of the Psycho Power. We'll never get to know the mystery to that one. I was disappointed in the lore episode. They're like, she seemed important, but she's gone. So pour one out for her, homies. Street Fighter EX3 is back, guys.
Oh, thank God.
Where have you been? It's been almost a year. Released March 4th in the year 2000 for the PlayStation 2, and it would come to North America later that year. Guard break removed.
Yeah.
We all saw it coming.
Yeah.
We knew that was going to happen.
It was inevitable.
Writing on the wall. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Replaced with Surprise Blow, which can sometimes happen in bars.
Yeah.
First game to get the M for mature rating, too, which was odd.
Just reminds me of when Tom all of a sudden left Dick's because he wouldn't take a dump in the men's restroom. We're like, where'd Tom go? He's running home to take a dump. They don't have doors on the stalls.
You gotta have some privacy.
And that's where they came up with Surprise Blows.
Honestly, at that point, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Surprise Blow does not use super bars. Rather than unblockable, it works as an overhead attack. Sure. Tag battles where you can switch between characters. Emotional flow. I think it's a kind of tampon. I don't know. I don't know.
It's got to be like a momentum meter, right?
It's your remaining super bars transfer to teammates when defeated. So, like, if someone hurts Dylan, his remaining power gets transferred to you because you're so angry someone punched Dylan.
I'd jump in as the Hamburglar and whoop some ass.
Dude, you would be the Hamburglar in these games.
I'm okay with that.
They
I
have to
just
change.
wish this were Tears of the Kingdom so I could get a big long stick and then fuse you to the stick as the Hamburglar and swing you around.
That'd be pretty sick.
+5 damage.
You couldn't be the Hamburglar for copyright reasons. You have to be like the Burger Thief or something.
Yeah.
We'll have to workshop that, but I think that could be a viable character. Your father was killed in mysterious circumstances, and you need to go.
The slider stealer.
The slider stealer.
He just throws sliders from underneath his cape, kind of like that fork guy in Mystery Men.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. You just throw a burger at me?
Why are they even this size? It makes no sense.
If you want to eat 10 burgers at once, I'm your guy.
It's a lot of bread.
It's quite a lot of bread.
Yeah.
Well, this game also added the character of Ace, a secret government agent capable of analyzing and copying skills of other fighters because they didn't want to have to deal with making a new copy or a new style of fighting. So they just have the character that can do all of them.
No, that's actually kind of a baller move. They're like, we're too lazy to make the new one, so we're just going to retcon this guy's story to be like, yeah, he just does that.
This is also a long video game tradition of doing mimic fighters.
Yeah.
And like, what do they call them in Smash?
Mirror
fighters.
Something like that.
It's just like they're kind of the same. Maybe some moves are faster and maybe deal more damage, and some are slower. But yeah.
So this is insane right here. They don't make a Street Fighter game for 8 years.
What happened?
They were making money making other games. These Street Fighters that they were making weren't successful. So they just stopped making Street Fighter for a while, which is
They hedged it all on Mega Man Legends.
They're like, this is going to save the fucking company. Mm-hmm. The studio.
What was Capcom making at the time that they wouldn't want to do?
Mega Man X7? I don't know.
Oh my God.
They were making me miserable somehow. Well, we have another delicious beer here we're going to drink. This one is from Eagle Park as well. It's a collaboration with Hop Butcher. This is an open-top fermented hazy IPA with Citra, Motueka, Rawaka, and Citra Incognito hops. So it's a Citra hop wearing a trench coat, I guess.
This will be good. I think I like Citra hops. This is a good test.
Resident Evil was coming around this time.
The
Resident
remake?
Evil 2 and
the original. No, the remake.
the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's
That would have been
2001.
2001, yeah.
See, so they were but I like the Resident Evil games. So they were doing good.
I like those
They weren't
games as
torturing
well.
you, Brad.
Yeah.
Dino Crisis.
That's because I was smart enough to not play Mega Man X8 at that time. For some reason, my 33-year-old self's like, I gotta fucking play Mega Man X8 today. And I beat the game, and I hated every second of it. And I spent part of my Christmas at home playing Mega Man X8. And my niece like, can I play? I'm like, you don't want to. Get out of here.
Ain't nothing but pain in here.
This is not where you want to be. Get out of here.
Get out of here, dude.
Why don't you go watch PJ Masks or something?
Go smoke a cigarette. This is way worse. Go watch the PJ Masks. It's time for bed, kid.
I hear Baby Shark's a cartoon
So you
now.
tell me the dog's a firefighter? That sounds pretty cool, right?
This one's a construction worker.
What, they're all friends? They hang out? I want a friend.
What's that like?
All I've got is this Nintendo.
He's out there. He is throwing up on the field here.
Oh my God.
He has a 100-meter dash time of 20 seconds.
Wearing the number 69, Dylan Hoff runs an 11:64:40.
Is he doing the
fast,
suck it
Dylan?
sign again? No,
Yes,
he's
he
just
is.
waving his winky at someone.
That's gonna be an ejection.
He's out of the game.
Now he's doing the do you want to see I found a baby bird technique.
Oh my goodness.
They're having trouble in the huddle because he keeps saying he's sad and gum.
All the other players have stopped on the field because he's found a baby bird, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, wanna see?
There was no bird. He's going. He's at the 10, the 5.
The bird is actually his testicles, folks.
He doesn't have the ball. He's just running to chase a butterfly.
But even though there were no games for 8 years, we did get Street Fighter Alpha, the animation, August 31st in the year 2000. It's an animated film, also known as Street Fighter Zero the movie, despite this taking place after Street Fighter 1, and that bothers me more than it should. It's not 0 if it takes place after 1. It's not how numbers work.
We've abandoned
Brad,
numbers a long time
Kingdom
ago.
Hearts.
Fuck yeah, dude. Now, those are the glory days, man.
God.
Those were the good
Naming
times.
conventions.
Talk about the beginning of a pandemic. I played through most Kingdom Hearts game in those 2 months.
Wow.
No wonder Carly hated COVID. for many reasons, but I think primarily because she couldn't go out and she watched me play Kingdom Hearts. A little bit even was probably too much for her.
That is unjustifiable torture.
I apologize if you're listening to this in 20 years, Carly. And if you're our grandkids, it was funny as shit, dude. Let's have a sip of this beer. I haven't tried it yet.
Of course. What is it?
It's an open top fermented hazy IPA. It's got like that.
Was that you, Tyler?
Yeah,
it's
got
Tommy
that.
did that.
I'm hungry.
It's got that skunky, like almost off flavor from that last episode.
But I like it.
Yeah.
You like this one?
I like this one.
It is dank.
It's not skunk. It's not.
Skunk isn't the right word. Maybe skank.
It's extremely like forward bitter in like a citrus way.
I do not like that.
He does not like this.
He does not like it.
I think it's pretty good, but it's like
Eagle Park beers are kind of missing the hits.
It's a unique IPA. Very
See, if I got a pack
bright,
of this, I might be disappointed.
funky, planty.
It's planty, yeah.
I think I'm just like, I'm kind of cashed out on hazies. I went hard on the hazy train for a while. I'm getting off.
He's getting off the train, folks. That's it. Well, anyone that starts working in a craft brewery, you think IPAs are the biggest deal in the world for the first year before you realize you just wanted a lager the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
I
is a
actually don't.
triple milkshake, sour, double hazy, India Pale Lager. I'm like, can I have a beer?
Sometimes you just want a beer, man.
I don't want 10 adjectives. I wanted a beer.
Yeah.
That being said, I'll drink your beers. I'll drink your double milkshakes, double dry hopped, India Pale Sours.
So some of the people I work with found
Pastry
out I have a
stouts.
podcast. If you're listening, turn it off.
Get out
But
of here. You're not welcome on this show.
Control you. Unless you're going to pay money.
Don't like it, subscribe.
But they
don't
were
want
like, and they were like, "Oh yeah, well, what do you like to drink?" And I'm like, "All of it." I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't have a specific thing I go towards. I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, maybe a little whiskey, a little gin, a little rum.
Whatever is in front of me.
I very much like rum. I'm more of a rum guy.
You know, me too. I do like rum.
I like it in cocktails.
I just like straight rum,
Okay, that's not me.
especially spiced rum. Yummy,
Okay.
yummy in my tummy. Best cheap rum on the market, Calico Jack.
Yeah, Calico Jack is great.
Calico Jack rules.
Yeah.
I have to give it a try.
Honestly,
Good stuff.
It's like $15 for big old one, and you're just like, well, this will take me like 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. That we used to get it in college because we were broke.
Yeah.
Stupid square one they give you. It's dumb.
This is the wireless enhanced, or there's an enhanced wireless controller from Power A. This was like 45, 50 bucks. And
The build isn't too bad.
there is a $100 version, which is like the Pro, which people say is probably the
Amazing.
best Switch controller. And that actually has like the double paddles like the Xbox does on the back.
Yeah.
And
It's just,
I also don't need 4 paddles. I think if I had that many things mapped to those on the back, it would be confusing to me. Just the 2 on this is nice, and it's programmable and it's wireless. You can get one with those paddles though for like 22 bucks. It's wired though.
Might have to give myself a Mother's Day gift.
You should.
No.
You're a great mom.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
get on Breath of the Wild, man.
I got like 6 hours in, but I'm kind of totally enamored by Fallen Order and looking forward to Survivor, seeing as though I already bought it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of good games right
I got 4 games lined up, and life is good. I'm spoiled right now.
I don't have to buy any.
5 really, because I beat Resident Evil 4 before I started these.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
I've been eating good.
You've been eating
I've been
very
eating good.
It's going to be a tough game of the year.
I truly believe that it will, because the only 2 contenders for me are Survivor and
Redfall.
Redfall. I just love it.
Resident Evil 4 remake was real good.
One of my
It
favorite
didn't
things.
stick with me.
Someone was complaining on Redfall. They're like, this room has like the size is wrong. There's like a chair that's way too big for a table. And it's like someone wasn't paying attention, and they just reused the same dead body in like the first room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Like after the little cinematic scene, there's like a nice looking dead body, which is the most John Wayne Gacy thing I'll say in my entire life. And then in the next room,
that's a good dead
it's
body.
the same dead body with like horrible lighting.
Well, John Wayne Gacy wasn't a product killer. He was a process killer.
Street Fighter.
He wasn't into the dead bodies.
That's why you put him.
If you like Street Fighter Alpha the animation in the year 2000, just wait till 2005 when Street Fighter Alpha Generations come out. It's an animated film unrelated to the previous Alpha animated film.
I flew to Japan just to watch it.
You were there for the premiere. It was great.
That's impressive.
Produced for the English language, and that was pretty much the only Street Fighter we got from 2000 to 2008. Big asterisk. All you nerds out there are saying, wait a second, what about the Marvel versus Capcom and this and this? We'll briefly mention those at the end, but I couldn't do that to myself this time. Trying to organize all of the different versions of the pairing games, the dual games, whatever you want to call them.
Street Fighter versus X-Men, Marvel versus Capcom 2. There's a few other ones.
And I had to not put that into lore episode because if I was like, and then Blanca met Mega Man and they became friends, that would hurt my head.
That is not okay to do to us.
Yeah.
And not okay to do to me because I have ADD and I would rather talk on the podcast than stare out the window.
We lost Dylan again. He's just thinking about his football career. It could work.
So what does a wide receiver do?
All right, what does a wide receiver
There's a
do?
little bit of blocking involved. Probably a lot more blocking involved with the Packers, but never mind.
Like building with blocks?
And catching the pigskin
Like Lincoln Logs.
and running. You got to run real fast.
You know, I'm really good at getting chicharrones, pigskin.
Oh, yeah, you'd be a shoe-in.
Street Fighter 4. Comes out in the year 2008, July 18th in Japan for arcades, August 13th in the US, and February of 2009 it would arrive on consoles for the PS3 and the 360. The producer, Yoshinori Ono, wanted close to Street Fighter 2, a return to form. They're like, we have lost the story here. We don't know what the Street Fighters are anymore. We made 3 different sequels to 2, and none of them stuck. So this one takes place between 2 and 5,
Typically, as 4 does.
but before 3.
It's before 3.
That just hurts my brain.
1 alpha, 2, 4, 5, 3.
This guy
Why-
street fights.
This guy's
Why
street
do they-
fucks.
why-
Street fucker. Street fucker.
Why do they even care, though? I just don't understand why they... Like, some people must be really invested in this lore, but I have never known a single person who actually is like, well, yeah, well, I know my character's motivation.
Whoa. Blanca's got overalls? This is not something he would do.
Yeah,
not
that's
okay.
very out of pocket for him.
I like what Blanca's character does in the later games. Because he's a wild man at the first, like in the first series, and then eventually he just turns into something else.
Yeah.
But for Street Fighter 4, they brought back Nishiyama and Matsumoto, who created the original Street Fighter. And I think the wisest thing they did for this game is the top competitive players for Street Fighter 3. They consulted them. Like that, even though the scene was dead, they went and they found the top players in the world. And they're like, come look at the game. What do you want? What would bring you back to this franchise?
That's cool.
Can you imagine what type of honor that would be, actually? That's actually really cool.
Yeah, the creator of the first game
They're just like,
seeking
what
you
did you
out.
like about the thing I created? Because I want to make more of that shit.
Because we're not sure what to do with it, and you, the fans, know better than anyone.
Because a lot of people who make these games are not professional level players.
Yeah. And they can't even like fathom when like before the game comes out where it will go. Like the fact that wave dashing, they didn't know what was happening in Smash Melee, and then it happened. Like they didn't dream the competitive scene that they would create because they didn't even intend for it.
They thought it was going to be a party game.
They thought it was like funny because Pikachu was fighting, Mario,
It's true.
which is funny.
It is pretty funny when you hit people with that big, gross hammer.
Yeah.
When Luigi does like that he just charges up himself into a rocket and shoots horizontally across the stage. I don't know.
Where's that even from in the canon?
Where is that even from?
We should do a Mario canon episode.
That'll have to be like a big one.
I would blow my brains out.
I have an idea, and it would be Mario's villains.
Sure.
It'd be fun to just talk about all of those, especially the ones that aren't Bowser.
Wart.
Yeah, because he's fought some other things that are kind of cool.
Yeah.
But they consulted with top competitive players, including Seth Killian. He had just achieved his career, just finished school, spent all this time to start, I forget what it was, like a serious profession. He abandoned it all to go work with Capcom.
I would too.
Went over his boundaries though, because they actually didn't. They wanted feedback, but he gave way more feedback than they wanted, and he was the one who heavily resisted 3D battlefields. He didn't want things like moving around. I was like, that's
like in a 3D space, but
yeah,
like Soul Calibur, where you can kind of like move towards the side, and then everything will rotate around it.
But
Masters of Terras Kasi.
Yeah.
I think for fighting games, I like the
I just like
2D plane.
I like the 2D plane.
Yeah. You can scroll it a little bit left and right. We can do that.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I don't mind that. You can maybe have something to break through and fall into another area.
Yeah,
and then change the scenery would be nice.
Yeah. I like in Mortal Kombat games when you do an uppercut into another stage and you just jump up to that stage.
I like that a lot.
That's good shit.
That's cool.
Those are fun secrets.
Yeah.
But he was the one who said 3D battlefields would be wrong, and no one wants it. The original concept for Street Fighter 4 was going to be called Street Fighter 4 Flashback. This was a horrifying fact I learned. It would be a single-player mode with third-person 3D action similar to the God of War series that focused on Ryu's backstory. So it'd be a story-driven, like, third-person adventure.
We're talking modern God of War?
It'd be like Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Bad. But thankfully that didn't happen. The gameplay remains 2D. Art director and character designer Daigo Ikeno opted for non-photorealistic rendering.
Smartest move he's ever made.
To give a hand-drawn look, because he realized...
An anime look, yeah.
He's like...
That's
if they try to just make it look realistic, he's like, that's going to age horribly.
Yeah. The game looks best when you lean into the anime cartoony art style.
It's also really cool because they actually ported this to the Nintendo 3DS. Yeah. And I played it a lot.
It's supposed to be pretty good, right?
It's actually quite good, yeah. The 3D works like a bomb, especially the new 3DS XL.
Yeah.
It rules.
Yeah, this game it did very well. Before it was released, this sounded like a fun night. They had a secret underground event in a warehouse where they invited the competitive Street Fighter scene. They're like, we're showing you the new game. It's invite only. Only the cool kids are coming in a warehouse. So it wasn't like a big glammy glitzy thing. It was like fucking dirty.
They all gave them cigarettes, lined them up, and shot them.
That's the trick.
Wow. Right? Yeah, that got dark fast. that took a turn.
That's what it sounds like a mob thing to do. It's just like, yeah, video games. We're bringing you.
Hey, we're gonna go out on the pond here in this boat.
The cinder blocks. Don't worry about them.
Is that guy playing a violin? But they had live music, drinks, and first looks at the game, specifically for longtime members of the community.
I wonder
a nice touch to get people jacked for your game.
Do you know what live music they had?
It was Green Day. I don't know what it was.
Dude, for a second, I was like, no way.
It was John Bon Jovi.
I'm just trying to imagine what live music you would play at a Street Fighter.
You'd want underground hip hop, or you'd want like dirty local rock music,
or like one of electronica DJ.
I think this was Street Fighter 4 is when they were leaning into the hip hop.
Just the keyboardist from Rammstein.
Rob Schneider?
Rammstein.
Oh, Rammstein. I was like,
just the keyboardist.
Just the
Rob
keyboardist.
Schneider's a horrible band name.
Rob Schneider. That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, no, they can make some Midwest emo music.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in. The gameplay added focus attacks, where you can absorb an attack and launch a counter attack by holding the medium punch and kick buttons simultaneously.
Wow.
Ono has stated that this system was incorporated in order to shift the emphasis away from combos and toward a more realistic system he has compared to boxing, in which the skill is in reading your opponent's move before they start moving, We haven't forgotten about combos and linked moves, but focus moves make it so that you have to read your opponent. And then they added the Ultra Combo, a long and cinematic move that can be used when the revenge gauge is full, which fills up when you take damage. So you actually get, every time you take damage, you build up. It's kind of almost a way of...
It's a good way of balancing.
Yeah, bad players get more special moves. Here's your blue shells. Console versions had bonus games, but not the arcades. And this was a cool thing that I didn't know Street Fighter 4 had. They had provisional damage, function kind of like a Bloodborne health system, where there are certain moves that take damage, and it's a different damage bar, and if you attack right away, you can get the health back. So it encourages aggressive gameplay, which is one of the coolest. I really like that system in Bloodborne. I've been thinking about Bloodborne lately.
That is a lifesaver in Bloodborne.
Yeah, so if you're getting your ass kicked, you can get your health back if you aggressively go at the boss, which just means I die faster.
Or if they're low on health, you might be able to clinch it and really win.
Just like you did in that one football game.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
There's another baby bird out there.
I wasn't watching. No, I'm literally talking about a trick that it used to be like a prank they did in the 90s where they would ask like, now this is sexual abuse and I don't think it's okay, but they would literally like, oh my God, I found this baby bird, and they'd try to show it to like girls, and then you would literally open it up, and then it's just your testicles kind of rotate.
Oh yeah,
this is the kind of thing Dane Cook would think was hilarious.
This was very popular at the high school I went to.
So you knew what I was talking about,
Yeah.
finding the baby bird.
I sat and gummed.
Brad thought I was talking about literal baby birds.
I thought he was just like on the
no.
ground, like, guys, there's a bird, and then everyone just runs over.
They said bird a few times, but
There's also like the rose.
I sat in gum. Like, check it out. I sat in gum, and then you just have your testicles bunched up, and it looks like chewed up gum, and it's disgusting. And dudes used to do it all the time in high school.
Speaking of
I've seen
testicles,
way
I
too many
hate that.
testicles.
I find it funny. I really hate that.
another wise move for Street Fighter 4. All the OG 12 from Street Fighter 2 are back. All the characters.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. And Akuma as well. Some of the new characters. We got Abel, a French amnesiac. Crimson Viper, a lady American spy.
He's a French amnesia.
Where am I?
How did I get here? Wait, that's not French.
Je m'appelle.
Je m'appelle Mino. No.
J'aimez vous. It's like the opposite of deja vu, where like everything feels new.
Is that real?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Où est le daddy? Where is my daddy?
Baguette. Cigarette.
I didn't know you spoke French.
Dude, that's awesome.
El Fuerte, a Mexican luchador and an aspiring gourmet chef.
He was fun to use.
Wait, hold on. So he's got a hobby?
Yes.
That's awesome.
He's
His
out.
job is fighting.
The reason he's fighting is so he can learn more about cooking from the other fighters in the world.
His favorite movie is Chef, starring John Favreau.
But everyone hates.
Sounds like my favorite One Piece character.
Everyone hates his cooking, which is a fun fact.
I cannot wait for this lore episode.
And Rufus, an obese kung fu fighter who wants to fight Ken to prove he's the best American fighter.
Oh.
And Rufus is one of the dumbest designs, or coolest. We'll save it.
Okay.
Could he beat Bo Rai Cho?
I don't think so.
No.
Rufus is more of a hack.
Okay.
Borai Cho is just a very good drunk.
Yeah,
He's a high functioning drunk.
I mean, if you can wield your farts like that, why not?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, now that was a great Mortal Kombat episode.
Yeah, it was.
Shoo how.
It was the beginning of the pandemic, and we were both going insane.
Oh, yeah.
That'll
do it.
The
We
new
stayed till like 11, and I'm like, well, I don't know where else to be.
Yeah. The new villain for Street Fighter 4's name is Seth. So
Named after that guy.
named after the famous religious character. Like Seth is actually like a term from the Old Testament.
I'm pretty sure it's named after the kid.
What kid?
There's like some story about how like it was like a Make-A-Wish thing.
Maybe.
I don't know if I'm getting something wrong here.
He's kind of portrayed as like a deity. He's the puppet master, the CEO of Sin. We'll learn about them on the lore episode. But they're the weapons division of Shadaloo. And Guken, elder bro of Akuma, and Ryu and Ken's master. The console version had Cammy, Dan, Fei Long, Gen, Rose, and Sakura. And the console had 6 more stages in a challenge mode.
The character is named after Seth Killian, Capcom's former senior manager.
So it wasn't Make-A-Wish. It was the professional player that came in. But the character design is kind of designed after like a religious figure.
Like an old Fire and Brimstone character design.
And
He's just a ball. He's kind of like Josh if Josh painted himself blue and got twice as ripped.
and had a yin-yang in his stomach.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what that guy looks like. I've seen him before.
Yeah.
And Seth comes back in Street Fighter V as a woman, which is interesting.
Sethina.
Sethina. The DLC added Championship Mode, which was a replay mode, point system, and the Championship Mode itself, you compete for higher ranking online. Sure, whatever. And costume packs. Costume packs. There are so many. Street Fighter V, each character has like 10 costumes.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, when I was doing my lore research, every female character costume was described, what it was representing, what it was all about. And Blanca's costume changes, they don't get, no one cares about them. But if it's Laura, you better believe they are describing like, oh, this one's great. This one, she's dressed like a soccer
maybe
lady
the-
with her boobs out.
She's maybe the hottest Street Fighter character.
I would agree.
Yeah. It's like I love Chun-Li for her nice thighs.
Big
but-
thighs.
Yeah.
And Street Fighter 4, they're bigger. Like, what are we going to do? Make them go bigger. Make them bigger. They look silly. Then double it.
Who cares? And she's like Brazilian.
Yeah. Oh, and she has half cornrows and like half long hair.
It's kind of a sexy do.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
And
Tyler's like typing in his phone right now. Tyler, put your phone down. Enough. The porn is out there.
why are you putting 34 in the search?
Like Brad doesn't know.
Super Street Fighter 4 comes out, which is another Street Fighter 4. This was released April 27th, 2010. It was deemed too large to be a DLC. I do appreciate lower price than a full retail game, only $40. They could have gouged people. The fact that they did it for 40, I mean, there was enough in this game that I can see that justification.
Sure.
Rebalance, it added team battle mode, 1 to 4 players take on another 1 to 4 players, endless battle, a replay channel. They added 8 characters returned, and they added 2 brand new characters, including Hakan, who is a Turkish oil wrestler who wants to prove that oil wrestling is a valid fighting style.
So he's just a greasy man.
Just a greasy old man. He's a family man, though, so I appreciate that.
In the
Can't
UFC,
catch me, can't catch me.
Ooh, I slipped away.
in the UFC, if you put too much Vaseline on, you get in trouble. You're not allowed to do that. So he's cheating.
Well, there's
Well, I can't be a part of that.
there's no rules when you're street fucking.
When you're street fucking.
Yeah.
Well, and you thought that was enough Street Fighter 4. Hold it. We got more, guys. Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. Update to Super Street Fighter 4 was released December 26, 2010 with 3 returning characters of Evil Ryu, Yang, and Yoon, and a new character, Oni, a new form of Akuma, which we needed. And
Yeah.
you think that's enough? Boys. We going back.
Are we going back?
We going back for more here. We got Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Whoa.
Eventually, they're not going to have more adjectives for these games.
No.
Super Mega Street Fighter 4 Turbo.
Arcade bonus edition.
Arcade Bonus Edition with optional DLC purchases.
You're a chump. Give us your money.
For only $6, see Laura dressed as a vampire. All right.
There have been.
That's fine. Okay.
I've been lonely before.
Halloween
Yeah.
pack? Okay, yes.
I've been lonely.
Okay. Ooh, that one's a free jersey for a sports team?
Yeah, take that.
He was dressed
I'll take
like a
that.
pumpkin. That's
Oh,
great.
that's great. She's dressed up like another female character from a game that I've seen. I like that.
Cool. She's wearing a Mario hat.
Is she dressed up like Morgan from Darkstalkers? He's $7.
I mean, Bayonetta dressed as Fox McCloud in the second Bayonetta. It did things to me.
Where did it touch you, Dylan?
Well, I mean, I'm in love with Bayonetta.
And Fox McCloud.
Yeah, well, my wife knows, so it's fine.
Secrets out.
Secret's out. Well, I mean, it's
You're going in too fast, Dylan. Pull up.
never.
I can hold it.
Yeah, it's
The Death Star run in the first Star Wars movie, it sounds very sexual. You're going in too fast. I can hold it. I can hold it. You're not going to be able to get out in time.
Porkins, no.
Porkins.
I love that.
I have a chicken and the egg problem with Porkins. Did they hire a fat guy and name him Porkins?
Yeah.
Or did they name the character
Yeah.
Porkins and then hire a fat guy?
I don't know, but I'm obsessed with Porkins. I want to do an entire prequel series to Porkins.
Star Wars, Porkins.
Oh, Porkins. It's just him.
You're never going to be a resistance fighter. You're too fat.
Watch me.
You'll see. One day I'll get off this couch and sit on another chair that flies through the sky.
And I'm going to survive my first battle. He died that day. He couldn't pull out
Gave
in
him
time.
a really important job.
And he died.
Well, yeah. Hey man, it's the way of the Force.
Ultra Street Fighter 4 was a digital add-on available for $15, or you could buy it standalone as a physical thing for $40. It has Ultra Combo doubles, which you can use both characters' Ultra Combos if you're doing like a two-player match or something, a tag match. But they do less damage. They add a red focus attack where you can absorb multiple hits. Delayed standing, alter the timing of the character's wake-ups so you could stay stunned longer to toy with your opponents.
Okay.
You could upload matches directly to YouTube. That's kind of interesting. I wouldn't do it, but I can see the competitive scene like, dude, check this out.
Yeah, but you would
check
also
out this DLC costume for my female character.
I don't see why you wouldn't want to like curate it like a little bit.
I don't
know what I mean? Like it you wouldn't just upload it directly and then just like type in this is my match.
Yeah.
Remember when I did this?
But we're in what? This is 2010, 11?
Something like that. Yeah.
And it's probably partially about saturating YouTube, like get more Street Fighter content on there, as well as make people feel like they're content creators.
YouTube was
more
only
invested.
6 years old at this point.
Yeah, because
What's up, baby?
the PlayStation 4 had the share button, and that was a big deal. And
I've never once used the share functionality.
it is my screenshot button.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't do the screenshots though.
Sometimes I see a real pretty thing in the game, like a Halloween costume
And
pack,
then you never look at it again.
and then you just gotta.
Well, it's great because you can zoom in on certain characters in Street Fighter 4 and their new DLC costumes. You can get really close and you can take a picture and you don't show anyone.
No, and then
And there should be a don't share button.
conveniently, there's a share to Facebook function or Twitter. It was Twitter.
and Republican Ted Cruz accidentally posted it on his Twitter one time.
Did you guys ever see
Blanca's butthole. That's not your Google
Have you
search
guys
bar,
ever
buddy.
I've been hacked. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
I was hacked.
Have you guys ever seen where it's this interview where Alex Jones is looking through his, he's like showing off like the new phone to someone.
Oh,
And he's like,
God.
yeah, and it does this and this and this.
Did he have just,
and
like,
there was
porn?
There was transsexual porn on his phone.
There's a whole big thing like, is that just a massive troll?
That's not. It's real. This is from like years and years ago.
You're talking about they're making the frogs gay guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, people are.
Alex Jones.
They're making the frogs gay.
They're turning the frogs gay.
No, but I don't know. I can't believe anything that snake oil salesman says. So I don't know if maybe that's just him having like, if he's really into it, or if he's like, this is gonna fuck some people up, and they're gonna talk about it.
A lot of the people who want to persecute are people who should frankly be protected in our society. They are generally jealous and probably want to be a part of it themselves.
There's a term, and it's escaping me right now.
Yeah.
There's a term for that.
Yeah. It's literally just like you're just denying yourself. And
Yep.
just because they're open and out with it, you're like jealous of that.
Well, speaking of jealousy, Street Fighter 4, The Ties That Bind, comes out in 2008. An animated film featured in the bonus disc of the collector's edition of the game. Whatever. Now, another feature film came out that did horrible. But first, what beer are we...
Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li. But first,
Yeah, what beer do we have, Dylan?
we have the Triple Hazy India Pale Ale. It is, it's another Eagle Park, obviously, and it's a collaboration with Joint Beer Fest, but Toppling Goliath Brewing Company.
Out of Decorah, Iowa. Great spot.
Toppling Goliath is good.
Yeah, I've had a couple other beers.
But we're in for another Triple Hazy.
This is going to be the nail in the coffin for Tyler.
Yeah, I already know I'm not going to like this.
Really? Gotta get this a smell.
Cashmere, Mosaic, and Citra hops.
This actually has a nice fragrance to it. The other ones are kind of weird.
I do like that.
That's okay.
When a beer gets super hoppy, it almost turns into more of like a barley wine.
This is almost.
It's just like a nice big bruise bomb.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I do enjoy this one. Yeah.
Tyler's back, everybody. Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. Now, we have about 15 minutes, and we are not talking longer than the allotted time on Street Fighter.
Okay.
Because we have to do a lore episode, and that's going to be more exciting. Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li was released February 27, 2009. Live action, supposed to be one of the most dog shit video game movies ever made. Non-canon spinoff. M. Bison is a maniacal real estate developer. And Jean-Claude Van Damme claimed he was offered the opportunity to reprise role, and other people have said, no, he wasn't. $50 million budget, it made $12.8 million.
12, that's less
That's a quarter of the budget.
than the budget. That's
And
bad.
it ruined Kristen Cruick of Smallville fame's acting career.
Leonard Maltin says this movie makes the first Street Fighter look like Gone with the Wind.
It's a good compliment.
It's a good
To
compliment.
Gone with the Wind.
Street Fighter: The New Challengers was an animated film in 2011. Street Fighter 4 Jury was a short film in 2012 with a downloadable voucher for this movie available in Asia. 35-minute origin story and canon precursor to the game. No one cared. Street Fighter Assassin's Fist was a web series, supposed to be legit. Street Fighter Resurrection was a web series sequel in 2016. Now we're at Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 came out in 2015 for the PS4 and Windows, February 16th. Arcade version was exclusive to Japan until 2019.
I got this day one.
What was your thoughts on Street Fighter 5, Dylan?
Awful.
It was a horrible release. It was
bare
bones.
It was extremely bare bones. The storytelling was done with these awful I wanted to just do story mode, obviously. So it's all of these still shots with kind of bad illustrations that kind of explain like what this character did to end up in the situation for the fight to start. And it was those story modes were also very short. It was like 5 fights maybe, and then it was all done. And that's actually what inspired me to start fighting people online, because I'm like, I bought this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to get fucking money's worth.
I need content, and I'm going to get into this for a bit. And I did. I became very good with M. Bison.
He's your homie.
He is. He's my favorite.
This game was a PS4 exclusive, as Sony and Capcom said that they had the same vision and they saw the growth potential for the fighting series. Otherwise known, they were paid money.
Which means cha-ching.
Yeah. They said a key aspect is working with us on executing cross-platform play with computers, though, which is kind of cool. Going to be the first time they've ever united that community is what they were saying. Mixed reviews that criticize this lack of content and characters, as well as technical issues such as broken servers at launch and software bugs.
I had a lot of broken servers.
You know, video games are either released as these big fucking messes, or it's Tears of the Kingdom, where it's just like, wow, it's done. It's perfect, and you don't need to change it.
The load times in certain areas are really bad.
And it's not the prettiest game at points. I saw it chugging when I was doing some lifting.
They made a lot of graphical improvements, textures.
Yeah.
They added more textures, which actually adds to the larger appeal.
I'll say Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch Pro or Switch 2 when it comes out will look and play way better.
Yeah, when they remaster it and charge another $70 fucking dollars.
Well, they're only going to have it released for a limited time in a special legacy pack of both games for $150.
Yeah.
And we'll pay.
I paid $130 for that collector's edition.
I got 2 copies of Tears of the Kingdom for $0. I don't know what happened yesterday with
That
Walmart.
kind of rules, though.
But I'll take it.
Yeah, man.
That's a W.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I didn't expect to get a fucking adventure pack. I'll sell it to you guys for like $200. I bet they're worth that.
We can't just give out fanny packs. Call them adventure packs.
Yeah.
The kids will love it. You got yourself a goddamn deal.
To the moon.
Yep.
It literally says on the front, like this is for promotional use only, but it also says to inspire you to do your own adventures. And I'm like, you gave me a thing.
So you put a
where
pocket knife in there and go wander the streets?
Do you think I'm literally gonna go play this in the woods somewhere? Like, you think I'm gonna go on an adventure? No.
Hey, don't mess with that guy. He's wearing an adventure pack. We don't know what he's got in there.
I will wear it unironically for you guys.
You should carry around a big fucking pistol in that thing.
I'm
Throw
really
a Luger
debating
in there.
I'm debating being a guy who
You're a
wears
snub nose guy.
Snub nose, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I only need close quarters.
Getting close and
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
can I tell you a secret? Pow!
I just son of Sam'd your ass.
then you just toss it off the hone.
Just like they'll never find it.
All we know is this kid was wearing an adventure pack. We got to go find him. Look for kids wearing fanny packs out there, people.
Don't even bother. Don't fuck with that guy.
It's Chinatown.
Forget it. Forget it, Rob. It's Chinaville.
Dude, we live in Milwaukee.
I just didn't want a copyright strike, you know?
They brought back the EX gauge from Street Fighter 3, which builds up as the players land attacks and can be used to perform fucking special stuff. Stun meter is now visible. The V gauge is the new thing.
The virgin meter.
The virgin meter.
The V gauge I like.
The better you are, the bigger your V gauge is.
Yeah.
The more blue balls you have, the better.
It builds as players receive attacks and adds 4 new techniques. You can do V skills, which are special attacks unique to your fighters, V reversals, perform a counter, V shifts, dodge and maybe counter, or V triggers. Use entire gauge to perform a unique ability such as a temporary damage boost or added hits to combos.
That's what I would do.
Players have the choice of paying for new characters and costumes using in-game fight money.
Yay! Fight money!
Dylan, what is fight money?
You earn fight money by fighting.
You earn $10 while you play an entire story mode. To get a new shirt for Laura is $100,000. So if you do the math, you're never going to see her wear that vampire costume.
No, you are not. I unlocked maybe 3 things in my entire time doing it.
Yep.
You should be rewarded for doing it more online. And I actually believe there was a boost for winning online matches.
And certain like weekly challenges.
Yeah, but I don't think that I ever paid much attention to it because I just didn't care.
And I think that's not the whole way this set up is kind of offensive, but you know, you play Smash Brothers, you unlock characters.
Yeah.
If it was just unlocking characters through certain things, that'd be fine. But the fact that you can just spend money to buy this content.
Well, you can only get Mewtwo after 100 hours in Melee.
Yeah. And I remember there's like some easy way to cheese that.
You can just leave it on.
I didn't do. There was another way. You can get Mewtwo 2 different ways in Smash.
I think you go into training mode
Yeah, I forget.
and
what
then
it
you let
was.
it run. It's something like that.
But yes, you can spend real world money to buy fight money. December 11th, 2018, they introduced in-game advertising for real products. You could see Coca-Cola. I don't know if it was Coke. It was like soda ads or
It's probably Pepsi.
yeah, just like ads in-game added for real world products.
People got angry.
Naturally, that is offensive. That is
very offensive.
Anger
Put your ads
inducing.
in my game.
Yeah. Keep it out of me, out of my life. I don't want it. Get the Pepsi away.
Not interested.
New characters. We have Fang, Laura, Sean's older sister.
Cool.
Great character. She's the most interesting character.
Yeah, this rich backstory.
Rich backstory. She is the older sister to Sean, and she doesn't like it when he plays video games.
Yeah.
That's all we got. Nikali and Rashid. Rashid's cool, a Middle Easterner who can manipulate wind.
He's awesome.
I like Rashid quite a bit.
Rashid rules, dude.
Post-release, here's some reviews.
They call it a whirling dervish over there.
Do you want to read the review from The Guardian, Dylan?
The game is an unfinished catastrophe. A game delivered
Starting
half-cooked
strong.
as if to meet a financial deadline rather than an artistic one. Nobody could offer a definitive judgment on the game today in good conscience. One thing, however, is certain. Buying Street Fighter V today is a speculative gamble. That's pretty good.
Chihuahua.
It's true. And I think I bought it because I somehow felt like I was in the mood. Or I was really depressed and I just needed something. So that's probably more the case.
Zangief just gave you a big bear hug and made you feel better.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I mean, the game looked great. That's one thing I'll say. The game looked awesome. It really flexed my television quite a bit, you know.
July 1st, 2016, a single-player cinematic story mode was added, as I believe it was a free DLC.
I had sold the game by that point.
I played through this entire mode. If you're into the lore of Street Fighter, this is the best opportunity for you to get to see it in action. People hated it. May 2016, PS4 players became aware that Street Fighter 5 has 8 frames of input latency. 8 frames is a lot of fucking latency. Almost unplayable. That's a fucking lot. June 2016, Capcom apologizes for its lack of communication. Hey guys, we're doing an apology video. This is so bad.
It was a bad era in the entire world.
And no worries though, because each DLC character could be bought for $6.
Yeah, great. I still see it on sale in some places. I'm just like, why?
Who is buying this?
Season 1 had 6 characters. Season 2 had 6 characters. Then they came out with Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, January 16th, 2018. Free update, or $40 if you don't own the original game. Contained all the characters from both seasons if purchased. Otherwise, characters locked out of the OG game. Extra battle mode, blah, blah. Season 3, they added 6 characters. Season 4, they added 6 characters. Street Fighter V Champion Edition would come out then. Released on original disc with a download code to update the disc. I hate that shit. Yep.
Download codes.
Download code vouchers. So, yeah, you're going to buy a used version of Street Fighter V Champion Edition. Be fucking careful. Good luck. Yeah.
I bet it's the same price. People are like, what a steal.
It's so great. Lots of costumes I put down. Season 5, they added 6 new characters. There's 5 seasons for this fucking game. And then they released Street Fighter V Type Arcade, an exclusive arcade release in Japan in 2019. USB ports on the side so you can use your own controllers in the arcade, which is weird to me. With limited time.
I think that's cool.
It's cool. It's peculiar. I can't see a lot of people doing it.
I can see the hardcores doing it.
Would you have been there?
I don't know if I'd bring my...
You pull your controller out of your adventure pack?
I go to arcades for like lighthearted fun. I'm not there to like...
I just saw you
beat on some kid.
I just saw you pulling your controller out of your adventure pack and a pistol falls out.
Like, oh, sorry, guys.
And then David Hasselhoff's son gets in trouble at that arcade. Hobie.
We love Hobie.
Get out of here. That kid's got a gun. Sorry, my bad. That's my gun.
My dad's a lifeguard.
Hobie, were you playing with a pistol? Yes. It was cool. Yes. And that was Street Fighter V. The game did become very playable in the end, but it was an unmitigated catastrophe at release.
I hear it's now fun to play.
Yeah. Try and get the Champion Edition because it has almost everything unlocked to where you don't have to pay for stuff.
Well, I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't.
So we can't. Coming later this year, Street Fighter VI. Will release June 2nd worldwide for PS4, PS5, Windows, and Xbox. Arcade version will be released later in the year. First game since Street Fighter IV not to be produced by Yoshinori Ono. There are 3 different game modes. Fighting Ground for local and online versus battles. Battle Hub, ranked and casual matches using their created avatars to participate in special events because you can create your own custom characters with their fighting styles.
That is kind of cool.
That allows for, it sounds cool. Hopefully there's a lot of depth and a lot of options. Not just like you can choose Hadouken or Thunder Kick.
Well, they're about 18 years too late. Soul Calibur 3
was amazing.
Like the definitive character creator.
You watch the wrestling games where like they make the worst version of Squidward you've ever seen.
Oh man, dude, I made some gems in wrestling games.
Fucking gems. And coming to the ring, we have Nigel Thornberry.
I made Adam Sandler, and I spent a lot of time on it. It was
Did you just have like baggy
perfect.
shorts?
No, I made him look like he was in Big Daddy. It was great.
Was Big Daddy your jam?
He was called Big Daddy.
Oh, he was called Big Daddy.
It's a great movie, though.
In those wrestling games, I would make Mungo the Man Baby.
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
In Mungo
Just a
the Man
diaper?
Baby, I made him as fat as I possibly could, and his arms as short as I could, and his legs as stumpy as he could. But that guy went long. That guy could fucking handle it. I didn't know how to play any of these games, so I was just like running into the ring. He had like boosted strength, and I figured out that I could cheese certain punches.
Yeah.
Well,
Those wrestling games suck.
some of them were acceptable.
Acceptable.
There was one that came out in college I had a lot of fun with.
yeah.
The Attitude Era
Rumble
one.
Roses XXX.
No.
And World Tour mode is the other one. Single player story mode featuring a customizable character exploring a 3D world, multiple cities. You can fight characters on the street. You can fight vending machines. It feels very half baked when I played the demo. Mm-hmm. You find these masters. You can go find Chun-Li in Chinaville, and she can teach you how to do some of her moves. You can learn from Ken how to do like the floating kick, the Shoryuken, or no,
The spin kick.
the spin kick. And you use that to platform to certain areas in these worlds. Like you need certain techniques to get to certain spots to get fucking fight money, probably.
Sure. I'm okay with
They should do
this.
Bison Bucks like the movie. That'd be cool.
This is a
Yeah.
part that actually endears me to it. If it's interesting in the way where going through this might actually teach you something more about the mechanics, but giving you like a little breath of fresh air in between. Because every other game I've played, it'll be like, and then you build this meter, and then this meter goes off, and then that meter goes off, but you can't do a combo here. And I'm always just like, you are using terminology for insane people. So if they can teach you it bit by bit and they give you a little bit of exploration to kind of let you breathe,
Yeah.
I think that actually might be the idea, because from what I understood, they want casual players back. They want casual players to be back into it. I've read a few interviews where they said, actually, we need them back. Otherwise, there will never be another Street Fighter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One thing they're doing to bring those players back, 3 control types. They have classic 6-button, which everyone, like that's a classic style.
Sure.
Modern, where special moves are assigned to single buttons combined with directional inputs. So the
Simplify things a little bit.
same way like Square's all the forms of kick flips and heel flips. Kind of like that. You can map all your special moves to like the right trigger plus certain directions. So you don't have to do like crazy inputs.
I do like all the inputs, though.
And dynamic is allowed in certain game types, but not online, where you can use a single button layout based on a selected range. I think that's accessibility options for people that might not be able to do it, but it's not allowed in competitive stuff. Real-time commentary. They have 8 different commentators for different languages, where they will do like, and he's doing the baby bird, where Dylan just like pulls out his testicles, but it looks like a baby bird.
Man, I've never done it, but when I saw it, I thought it was pretty funny.
You're like,
I just had to specify I've never done that in my entire life.
Neither have I. I did find it funny, but even as a child, when it happened in high school, I was like, that's sexual assault.
There was a
Like,
there was
that's not cool.
There's a disturbed kid in my middle school who would get like the Go-Gurt tubes, and he would get a few of them and like kind of like pseudo like zip into them so they would stick, and then he would run around and he would try to whip people with his Go-Gurt penis.
But his penis wasn't in the Go-Gurt tube.
No, it wasn't in the tube.
He just
no.
zipped it up in his zipper.
He was just like scary. and if he whipped you hard enough with them, the Go-Gurt would just explode on you. Ugh.
6
I
new,
can't eat Go-Gurt.
6 new characters have been revealed, as well as
I can't eat Go-Gurt.
some DLC was leaked already. Not like the full content, but some of the characters. Recently, as of April 3rd of this year, the film and TV rights were acquired by Legendary Entertainment.
Oh my god! The
Here
same
we
people
go.
who have Mortal Kombat.
Jean-Claude Van Damme needs a job.
My iPad is still trying to kill itself.
What's actually happening with it now?
It's just like, turn off. I'm like, no, I don't want you to turn off.
Did you put it in rice?
Not yet.
You should probably put it in rice. You should probably stop charging it at this exact moment and put it in rice.
We need it, though, for the next episode. I got 100 different pictures of all the characters we're talking about as a visual aid because we need to see them. I cannot talk about Rufus without you guys seeing Rufus. Other things about Street Fighter. The Final Fight series is in the universe. Marvel vs. Capcom has 7 iterations. SNK vs. Capcom has 6 iterations. Tatsunoko vs. Capcom has 2 iterations. Street Fighter Cross Tekken, or Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Puzzle Fighter, Super Smash Bros., and Street Fighter X Mega Man. All things that exist. On the next Elden Dogs, we're doing the Eternal Cities with Gary Butterfield. No, that's out of order. We're recording that next week. This episode, if you're a Patreon member, that is correct. But otherwise, this episode won't be out for a little bit. If you want access to all these episodes immediately, check us out on patreon.com/hairthedogcast. And you can follow us on Instagram, tweet at us. Do we get anything wrong? Yes. Do we care? No. But tell us anyways.
I'm glad you finally changed to the dark side. I'm glad you're finally there.
We're there.
You can try and correct us. We just not.
My Dylan gauge is full, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I can do 3 super combos, all Dylan style.
Yep.
The baby bird, I have it mapped to the right trigger with down, and it's just so easy to do.
It's so easy now.
And yeah, we exist because of people like you. So reach out to us, like and subscribe. All jokes aside, we know you won't, but if you listen this far, you should. Otherwise, it's just, do you even like us?
Give us a few 5-star reviews. I actually have an iPad now. I can look it up.
And if you want access to the dope as fuck Street Fighter lore episode we're about to do, you need to be on Patreon, because that'll be Patreon exclusive for a long time, until we get too drunk one weekend in a year and I'm like, I don't know, release the Kraken. And it's just us talking about Laura for an hour and a half.
Yeah. We're doing this right after this.
If you're down.
Yeah. Okay.
Special thanks to executive producers Brian Christianick, Kipper, Brian Ward, Jordan Hoff, and Phil Wright. We are a proud member of the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network. Check out all those other amazing shows. Final thoughts on the Street Fighter franchise, Tyler.
Count correctly and use the numbers in the order that they were designed. And please just make my life easier that way. Moving forward, your next game should be 7. If you make a new one.
Alpha 4.
God damn it.
I'm overwhelmed. Wrong. I'm overwhelmed by the information. It's only going to stick in my head for another 2 hours, but it's interesting more from like a history perspective to see just how they really wrang the crap out of this. Oh, we've got all the visual references.
Akuma.
That's a glow up right there.
That's Rose. She has psycho power. She's related.
She's cute.
Yeah, she's like a fortune teller.
Cool.
My thoughts, the series is cool. Street Fighter 2 is good. I don't like that it's becoming monetized with fight money. I like seeing Blanca in overalls. Make it, if anything, weirder is better.
Are they corduroy?
They're like, we'll see. In fact,
they got to be denim.
They are. They look very uncomfortable. Blanca. See, there's so many. There it is.
That's a good look.
And he has a cute little bandana.
Yeah, I like that.
He's got my hairline.
He's got your hairline. And your hairy ankles.
Nah.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Get out there and start street fucking.
Adios.